It's about finance, it's about repaying a mortgage. So amortization is the fancy word for this. So we've just got to look through a lot of information. And usually the questions are like this, where it front loads with loads of information, but for part A, you've actually only got to look at one piece of information. Calculate the monthly payments using option 1. Well, if it's monthly payments, that sounds like Finance Solver. If it was calculate the interest, maybe compound interest formula, but this sounds very much like Finance Solver. So I'm going to just pop a few little things down for Finance Solver. We've got well, in fact, let's get our calculator out. Menu, Finance Solver, okay? And we're just going to write down the variables on our screen here. I, PV, PMT, FV, PPY, and then there'll be CPY, and we always set this to end. Okay, so let's just see if we can actually unpack the question now and just put the right numbers in the right place. So as we read it, she says, Sophie's planning to buy a house. She needs to take out a mortgage of 120,000. Well, that's 120,000. That's the current value. That's the present value. We need to have 120,000 coming into our hands so we can then go and buy the house. Okay, so that's the idea. Money coming into us. When we take out a loan, that's money coming into us. So that's a positive. So that's that bit done. Okay, next. Calculate the monthly repayments using option 1. Okay, so this is what we're focusing on now. We just ignore option 2 here. We just look at option 1. Repay the mortgage over 20 years. Okay, so you're thinking that n is 20, but remember, this n here, if you click on your calculator over here, look at the calculator, can you see it says number of payments n? It doesn't say the number of years, so it's number of payments. So don't be tricked into thinking that is just the number of years. It definitely isn't. At annual interest rate of 5%, well, that's annual interest rate of 5%, so that's 5% for the year. If you click on I, it says the interest rate, and this is always the yearly rate. It is compounded monthly. Okay, so compounded monthly. So we've now got CPY is 12, because it's 12 compound payments for the interest rate. And if that's compounded monthly, and she wants the monthly repayments, then payments per year will also be 12. And now we've got 12 payments per year. We've got 20 years times 12 payments per year. That's 240 payments. So in here, this is 240. Okay? And so we've only now got two things missing, haven't we? We've got PMT and we've got FV. Now, if this is a loan, the future value needs to be 0. We want to have paid it all back. So can you see we're solving for payment here? Right, so let's go and type all those in here now. 240. 5. Present value is the amount of the loan, 120,000. Future value is 0. Payments per year is 12. And compounding periods is 12. And end, and then we solve for payment. Press return and have a little look. So payment, and that says negative 791.95. I'll do it to 2 decimal places, and so therefore we have a 791.94. Is it dollars? Yep, dollars monthly payment. Okay, notice the Finance Solver has this guy as a negative because that's money going away from you each month. Now part B, calculate the total amount Sophie would pay using option 1. So this is a follow through from part 1. If she pays 791.9, oh, it's 0.95, my bad, round it up properly, 0.95. Okay, if she pays 791.95 each month for 240 months, that's the calculation we need. Now on your calculator, you can actually just grab this here, 791.94688. You can keep the full accuracy, but it's okay just to use the rounded value now. Okay, so if you press escape, 791.95 times by the 240. So this is the full amount of the loan that is going to be paid back, 190,068. So that's the total amount paid back over the 20 years for something that's actually borrowed 120,000. Now this question just asks for the total amount, so we've actually got the answer right here. Maybe if it asks for the interest would be the difference between the original amount of the loan and the total amount that she pays back. Okay, so 190,068. Let's have a look. Calculate the number of months it will take to repay the mortgage using option 2. Okay then, so this looks like another finance solver. We've got N again. And we're going to go back to see what option 2 is. Option 2 is 1,000 every month. Okay, so let's put that down here. So that payment is negative 1,000 each month. So it looks like the payment is per month, and an annual interest rate of 6% compounded annually. Okay, so interest rate is 6%. Okay, so now let's get the finance solver out again. Menu, finance solver. Okay, and let's have a little look here. So N is actually what we're trying to find. Calculate the number of months. Interest rate is 6%. After PMT, we've got FV is 0. Here we've got present value is still 120,000. And we've got PPY and CPY default to end. Okay, so now the payments per year are 12 because he's paying each month. Now compounding periods, did you notice that 6% was 6% compounded annually, so compounded per year is 1 here. Alright then, so now let's have a little look at that. Have we got everything filled in? Yep. Alright, so let's go back up to our finance solver. Let's feed everything in. 6, 120, final is 0. The payment we change here, and the payment was negative 1,000. Got to be careful down here. The payments per year is 12, but compounding periods per year was 1. So that's a little bit different, isn't it? Usually those numbers are the same, but they don't always have to be. Make sure we've got everything else sorted out. Yep, and now N is the number of payments, and that is N equals 180.68 payments. So that's approximately 181 payments, and therefore if we're paying each month, that'll be 181 months of payments needed. Okay, and now D is like a same follow through. If we're 181 months of payments and we pay 1,000 per month, that's going to be approximately $181,000 is the total amount paid. So you can see that the amounts paid under each scheme are a little bit different, aren't they? I think the next part of the question asks us to compare and contrast.